Hi, boys and girls. Today's story is The Salmon Princess, an Alaska Cinderella story by Mindy Dwyer. I hope you enjoy the illustrations. They're fabulous. The Salmon Princess, an Alaska Cinderella story by Mindy Dwyer. There once was a place where a girl could walk across the sea of the backs of so many wild salmon. It was here in southeast Alaska a fisherman, his wife, and their daughter called home. They lived at the edge of a shadowy forest. Their waterfalls made music with the drip drip of rain. It was a happy life, though it was full of hard work. While the fisherman plucked fish from his nets, mother and daughter smoked salmon on the beach. Sweet smoke spiraled into the sky as they sang songs from long ago, a time when anything was possible. One winter, the mother died suddenly. Cold rain poured from the sky. The daughter's tears ran like rivers of sadness into the salty sea. The fisherman held sadness in his heart like a great net bursting with fish. Years passed, and eventually the fisherman remarried. His new wife had two strong sons who quickly learned to catch fish. With three fishermen, the net swelled with salmon. The stepmother refused to clean fish and gave that stinky, slimy job to the girl. The girl's name was Cinder because of her smoky gray eyes that sparked like fire. Cinder had a favorite place in the forest at the base of an ancient cedar tree. She went there to smoke salmon the way her mother had taught her. When the fisherman looked into his daughter's eyes, it wasn't the spark he saw, but the memory of the girl's mother looking at him. He buried his grief with more and more fish as the years drifted by. One summer, the fisherman returned home with news of a silver salmon festival on the mainland, with a carousel, contests, and a dance, followed by a raffle for a grand prize of real silver bars. In all of the excitement, Cinder overheard her brothers talking about raffle tickets. They hoped to win the silver and buy a faster boat to catch more and more fish. If Cinder won the silver, she would not buy a salmon boat. She was already drowning in salmon. When Cinder asked to go to the festival, her stepmother said, "No, there are too many fish to clean." Her father sadly said, "There are indeed all those fish." She wanted to go to the dance more than anything she had ever wanted before. With the ease of a grizzly bear, she sliced all of the slippery salmon clean. Cinder ran into the forest. "Even if I could go, I have nothing to wear to a dance. All of my clothes stink of fish guts," she thought. Sitting under the cedar tree, she remembered her mother's sweet voice and began to sing softly. In the twilight, she saw little silver stars peeking through the branches. She couldn't believe what she saw next. An eagle dropped something from the sky. A shimmering salmon flopped on the ground at Cinder's feet. As soon as she picked it up, she realized it was a shiny dress sewn with soft silver threads, fit for a princess. "Cinder," the eagle said, "anything is possible. Go to the dance, but remember, you must return the dress before dawn. The silver will disappear in the light of the day." Cinder slipped into the silver dress and looked up to thank the eagle, but it was gone. Then she looked down at her Sitka slippers. the heavy rubber boots that Southeast Alaskans wore. Luckily, the dress covered her boots. Wearing her new gown, Cinder headed to the festival. She remembered to bring some of her smoked salmon to sell so she could buy raffle tickets. Running toward the dock, Cinder saw the brothers' fishing boat pull out into the bay. "I'll hop across the swimming salmon if I have to," she vowed. Then, seeing the skiff, Cinder jumped in, started it up, just as she had seen her father do 1,000,000 times. The skiff pushed through the waves, its fluorescent wake glowing like the train of a great wedding gown. Oh, the Silver Salmon Festival was a sight more wonderful than a dream. Cinder had never seen such colorful lights. She saw a boy looking at her, and her stomach flip-flopped, just like a fish out of water. Their eyes met briefly, but before the boy could ask for her name, she ran off to sell her salmon and then bought as many raffle tickets as she could. Cinder found a long line of dancers and jumped in. When the boy saw the girl's wild red hair and smoky gray eyes that sparked, he was hooked. Circling left, circling right, Cinder and her dance partner spun like the hands of the clock. In her long hair, he smelled smoke as they twirled into the night. At the glimmer of first light, Cinder suddenly remembered the eagle. She sprinted off the dance floor and down the dock toward her skiff. Her boot caught in a net, and as she wrestled with it, she dropped the raffle tickets. Cinder hopped into the skiff and hurried away across the bay to return the dress, leaving her boot behind. The boy followed her to the dock. First he found the lone boot, then the raffle tickets, but the girl was gone. Back at the festival, one of the girls' tickets held the winning number, and there were only 24 hours to collect the prize. He had to find her, but everyone wore those big rubber boots. It would be nearly impossible to find the match. The girl could be on any one of 100 islands. The boy searched every island and every bay and was about to give up when an eagle circling overhead led him to a dock. On the shore, he announced that he was looking for a girl with sparkling eyes who had won a prize. Cinder's father was confused, and her stepmother laughed. "Ha ha ha! The only girl who lives here is covered in fish slime." Seeing a sparkle in their sister's eyes they'd never noticed before, Cinder's brothers locked her in the smokehouse and tried to think of a way to claim the prize. Cinder fired up the old smoker and began to sing as smoke soared into the air. The boy followed the delightful song and the sweet scent. Unlocking the smokehouse door, he saw the girl he had been searching for. The boy smiled, and Cinder's heart skipped like a smooth rock across the water. "Cinder?" her father called out, looking for her. "Cinder, she's my Cinderella!" the boy cheered and offered her the boot. It fit, and Cinderella collected her prize of silver bars. She learned that the boy's father owned the King Salmon cannery. "So that makes you a salmon prince," she giggled. When they married, Cinderella became the Salmon Princess, and they lived happily ever after. Cinderella's stepmother was stuck cleaning salmon, so she went back to the lower 48. The brothers ended up at the salmon cannery, working long, hard hours cleaning salmon. Cinderella forgave her father, and he lived a long and happy fisherman's life on a healthy diet of salmon. With the silver she'd won, Cinderella bought a homestead up north in the interior. She and the prince farmed prize-winning cabbages bigger than any salmon and had 3 daughters. Cinderella taught them to sing their mother's song and to believe that anything is possible. In the time, the prince would take over his father's business at King Salmon, and Cinderella believed that one day they would all return home just like the salmon. And that's the end of The Salmon Princess, an Alaska Cinderella story by Mindy Dwyer.